All right, this is the watch this video for Friday, February 9th. Um, I did not take a trade today. I was only there for the morning and then I had to leave. So for that reason, I didn't find any proper setups first thing. And again, if I slide this over and take about the last 5 or 6 sessions out, this looks like a normal market. And then this looks like a war happened. All right, that's unbelievable, the daily ranges right now. And you hear people say that day traders thrive on volatility, and this is an awesome market for day traders. It probably is for some, but not for me and the way I'm wired. I prefer a calmer market and low risk setups. My trading capital means everything to me, and I have to preserve that, and so I have to find low risk setups. And so I do a lot of sitting on hands the last few days. I've done a lot of sitting on hands because I want to have a low risk setup, and I'm actually shocked that. After this huge bounce, in a day and a half, we took out the lows again. This literally looks like there's a war going on or something, and there's not. So, suffice it to say that I'm going to err on the side of caution until this, calms down. This won't last forever. These kind of crazy daily ranges, Dow was down over 1,000 points today. It's not going to last. The market is going to find equilibrium, and trade setups will be, common again. But in the meantime, what I'm doing now is I'm kind of populating my watch list with things that I think are, for the most part, things that I think are oversold. And then if we get a market bounce, I can play these individual names as a bounce as well. So just know that right now I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm not taking a lot of trades. Got to keep your account intact if you want to remain a day trader. And believe me, I want to remain a day trader. So the one thing that separates professional trader from everybody else, they say 90% of traders fail. The one thing that separates them is unrelenting discipline. Okay? You can stay disciplined and follow all your rules for every day for 6 months straight, or a year straight, or 2 years straight, and then in one day, throw your rules out the window on one trade and blow up your account. So it literally takes unrelenting discipline. You cannot relent on that. I still have mishaps where I break a rule here and there, and then muscle memory kicks in, and I remember the pain from past trading desk spirals, and I'll cut a blunder pretty quick. But those minor blips on our equity curve as traders are actually very productive because they serve as reminders that, okay, the market requires unrelenting discipline. I backpedaled a little bit there, and then we get right back on track. So if you have let this get you a little bit, this recent trading, and you've taken a little bit of pain, embrace it. Embrace the pain and draw on it to remind yourself that when you're in front of your screens, you have to be disciplined 100% of the time. Okay? So what I'm watching tomorrow, again, kind of looking just for stuff that I think is oversold. Netgear, NTGR is one of them. It's fallen in 2 sessions from 68 to like below 56. You kind of have a gap fill here. Certainly, and actually this is after earnings, and I think they beat on earnings. You can't really ever go by that. You got to go by the chart, but oversold here. Pretty good setup for a potential bounce tomorrow. Same thing with MANH. 2 nasty down days to take out recent support. A lot of times when something falls very far to take out support, it's a good candidate for a snapback. So I want to watch that. ExxonMobil actually made it down to that 76 area, that it bounced off of back in August, and it's gotten there, just like I said, it's gotten there in a hurry from over 89 down to that 76 area. Pretty good candidate for a snapback bounce. What else do we have here? PTEN, short-term oversold maybe, big volume today that goes on bounce watch. Riot, it gapped up yesterday, sold off, gapped up again today, sold off, but actually put in today's range was inside of yesterday's. This is an actual, with the Dow being down over 1,000 points, this is a good candidate for a snapback short squeeze. I'm not in love with it, but I certainly think it's worth having on watch. Take-Two Interactive, TTWO, a nasty down day, big volume. It bounced off of $100 last time, so if we get a flush below 100, you got the 200-day here, not too far, 95-ish below that. So if we flush below 100, I'd be looking in this area for an intraday reversal for a trade. Remember, I'm a day trader. I'm not talking about investments here, and I don't hold overnight ever. So keep in mind, I'm looking for things that might give me a trade tomorrow. It's that simple. iRobot, IRBT, nasty sell-off today. Looks like it almost hit 90 yesterday and then below 60 today. I believe this was on earnings. I don't have a spot on the chart that I say here's where it's going to bounce, but we're going to watch it, see if it gives a low risk setup. A lot of times we'll get a second red day and then I'll like them even more for the next day. APRN held this 3 support back here and again back here. Nice little volume breakout to the upside. We'll see if that gets a follow through day, especially when you consider the strength it had today and a very, very weak tape. Snap SNAP, huge day yesterday. Gave back some of that today. Sometimes we get a third day rip right back higher, so we're going to watch that one. RVLT really looks good over this kind of last week's highs. Today's high was 464, yesterday's high 470, and then about a week ago 475. Really looks good. If it gets back over 470, I think you might take out this 475. I like the volume on that day, and if it gets over that, we might get a quick rip to 5, so that one's certainly worth watching. I love the chart coming into today, except that if you look at this, it had, to get up to near recent highs, it had run for 2 days straight. So you always kind of expect a pullback. And is today enough? We'll see. And then lastly, I have RMGN, which had this big pop from 80 cents to $1.10 yesterday, and actually held up again pretty well today in an ugly tape. We'll add some gappers to the list in the pre-market, and that's plenty to watch. Again, stay safe out there. Your trading capital is everything as a trader, and you want to keep it. So only take A-plus setups. Protect your entry once you get in and start taking some profits. But defense first. I want to say defense first in this environment, but you know what? I don't want it to sound like that's a special rule that I'm throwing out for this environment. It should be defense first always if you want to be a professional trader. All right, I'm done babbling. See y'all tomorrow.